Hello everyone, Kadir is here. Before you start watching my video, please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment and like my video, of course. In this video, what am I gonna do? Well, I'm gonna talk about my lesson plan that I was supposed to deliver in classroom, but because of coronavirus, I'm doing it online as asked by our instructor, Alba. And I have uploaded my activities, lesson plan and presentation on Moodle. So before you continue with the video, I suggest you to download, open the documents. And I also numbered each activity so that you can follow easily while I'm speaking. So I'll be waiting, just go do it. Okay, so I have my notes in front of me and I have my slide on my screen. Let's start with the presentation. So happy Women's Day. Recently we celebrated International Women's Day, and that forms my lesson plan. What are my lesson variables? So lesson topic, International Women's Day. Learners, who are my learners? They're 16, 17-year-old teenagers. They are studying in a semi-private high school in Tarragona, and their English level is around intermediate to upper intermediate, so B1, B2, and the class size is 9. They're not very crowded as it's an IB program, International Baccalaureate program. I don't know, I probably misspelled it, so let's continue. Room arrangement. It's U-shape, however, it's easy to manipulate the seating arrangement as students can easily move their chairs. And the duration, each class lasts 40 minutes, but we're gonna finish this lesson in 2 periods. So in total, I will dedicate 80 minutes. And what materials am I going to use? I'm going to use YouTube videos. I will show them 2 videos. We're going to read some newspaper articles, and students need to use their smartphones, and we need 1 projector. And our objectives. So what do I want to achieve with this class, with this lesson? I want to raise students' awareness on existing inequalities between men and women, and to help students notice that celebrations and their significance might change from country to country, and to increase their vocabulary and to practice listening comprehension. The first 2, they are the cultural focused, and the other 2 are my language focus. And warm-up. So in the first one, how are we going to start our lesson? We're going to start our lesson with a story of a father and a son. And this story I would like to actually share with you. Maybe I shared it with my classmates, with some of them at least before. So there's a father and his son. They're driving on a road, and they have an accident. Let's say they crash against a tree, and the father, he dies immediately, and then the ambulance comes and they take the child to the hospital right away, and then in the operation room the doctor comes, and the doctor says, "This is my son, I cannot operate this person." And the question is, who is the doctor? And the students, they take their time, 1 minute or 40-50 seconds, whatever, and generally people are like, what? But his father has died, and who is this doctor? They say, father, his other father, adopted, I don't know. No one thinks about his mom. Well, the answer is, who is the doctor? The doctor is his mom, because people, they don't perceive sometimes, in most cases, woman as a doctor. They always think of man as the doctor. So this is to show that we have certain images that are imposed by the society to us, like when we say an engineer, and a man appears in our minds. So that's the story. And then I asked them, so why did I tell you this story? What do you expect in this lesson? So we have very, very short discussion. And then we continue with the second activity, background check, let's say. I give them a handout, and in this handout they will have some names, woman names, like Angela Merkel, Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, Margaret Thatcher, and some other names. And I asked them, so which ones do you know? Please put a tick next to the names that you know, that you have heard before. And it's not important how much information you have about these women, whether you know or not, that's the matter. And the purpose is to introduce them some important names, some important women. And we, in groups of 3, they discuss the names, like, oh, I know Angela Merkel, she's the Chancellor of Germany. And then someone says, I heard about Anne Frank. I think she was Jewish, but I don't know what happened to her. So they discuss what they know. And then after group discussions in groups of 3, they share their comments with the whole class. Next, they watch a YouTube video. I play the video. It's a 4-minute long video. They watch it 2 times. In the first viewing, they watch it for general comprehension, and then for the second viewing, they watch to do an activity. They need to match. So in the handout, they have 2 halves, halves of a sentence, and they must match these halves so that it makes a sentence, a meaningful one. And they cannot do it without watching the video. So they watch in the second time for this purpose. And then in the third activity, that's what they do, listening comprehension. In the fourth one, I introduced them the topic. So, okay, guys, we're gonna talk about International Women's Day, and I have some questions for you. I would like you to discuss in your groups, with the other 2 people. So, like, what is the main purpose of the day? Why is it celebrated? How did it start? Or what is the origin? Is it celebrated the same way everywhere? Have you joined the marches on this day before? How was it? What did you do? What did you say? And they discuss these questions, and then we proceed with the activity number 5, vocabulary matching. So in the following activities, they will have reading texts. So I chose some words that I thought that they wouldn't be familiar with, and they must match them with their definitions. Surely they will run into these words in the text, so they must be familiar with them initially, so that it's not difficult, the text. And next, they read a news article from Independent. So the title is "How is International Women's Day Celebrated Around the World?" And then they discuss 3 questions. After reading, they talk about what impression the article leave on them. What do they think about it? Like, why in Argentina they talk about abortion, or why in Spain they talk about sexual offenders. why are there differences? They predict, they give their own thoughts on these questions. Next, I show them two photos. You can see on slide number 10. Two women are illustrated, and so I asked them, so what do you think these photos represent? What is the message? Tell me. And then we watch a video from BBC on YouTube. It's a 2-minute long video. Here glass ceiling is defined and analyzed to some extent, how it reflects itself in corporate life. And then I give them an extended definition, exhaustive definition of glass ceiling. And then we proceed with the next activity, number 8. Activity number 8, they read a text about pay gap in US in English, and the other text, pay gap in Spain, that's gonna be in Spanish. So they read these two texts and they analyze the facts, the statements given in these texts. They break down each statement and they analyze what they mean, what is meant exactly, because it's a little bit complicated, in my opinion. And then finally, the final activity of the lesson is they use their smartphones. They're supposed to use their smartphones, again in group or as a pair. And in this activity, they must go to websites of some big big corporates, big companies in Spain, like Iberdrola, Inditex, Endesa, Repsol or Santander. So they must check how women are represented in the board of directors of these companies. Is there diversity? Are women given voice? And what is the percentage of men and women in the board of directors, in the boardroom? Are women in top positions in those companies? And then students, they analyze the companies, and then they present their findings in front of everyone. So they must come to board and present their findings and their opinions in a 2-minute long video. And that will be the end of our lesson. And thank you. I'll see you soon, hopefully. Stay strong and healthy.